What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. So the Empro Classic is officially underway in Alicante, Spain. The athletes meeting wrapped up yesterday. We got a little preview of what we can expect on Sunday. And from the updates I'm seeing online right now, it looks like we may have some closer battles than I originally thought at this show. And I think this is shaping up to be a really exciting men's open lineup. So we're going to start by looking at the list of qualified competitors, and then I'll let you guys know who I have my eyes on, including my top 5 predictions. So in the men's open, we have Jorge Zamorano Avila, Wellington Fernando Baptista, also known as Wellington Nescau, Roman Fritz, a lot of people are excited about Roman, Petar Klancir, Michael Krizo, Joan Pradells Martinez, Jose Manuel Munoz, Emir Omeragic, Andrea Presti, Vicente Santamaria, and Christian Wolski. Now, like I said, we have been getting some previews of these guys leading up to the show, and I think everyone here is about to bring their absolute best to the Empro stage. So I'm going to give you guys my breakdown of some of the guys I have my eyes on here, and you guys, just looking at Krizo first, he really is looking to be at his all-time best here. He looked absolutely shredded leading up to this show, and we're really seeing the improvements that Krizo has made here. He looks big, round, full, the delts are capped. He definitely has the best arms in not only this show, but quite possibly in the IFBB right now, period. But these are all things that we knew about Krizo. We knew he would bring these things. The things that Krizo had to improve upon was definitely his back. Conditioning, we know he can bring. Even though his conditioning wasn't 100% at the Olympia, we have seen him inside out shredded before. But looking at Krizo's back, unfortunately this shot isn't straight on, and it does look like the camera is angled down a bit. But from what we can see here, I think Krizo did bring up some of the thickness in his back. He's got a good level of separation. The lower back, the spinal erectors, they look really good here. And if I had to say if Krizo made improvements to his back or not since the 2022 Olympia, so far, I would say he has. Now, the one thing Krizo has been taking some heat over is the size of his glutes. And again, maybe it's just the angle of some of these pictures. And you guys, this is not a glute competition by any stretch. This is not the wellness division, but there does look like there's a slight imbalance from the back due to his undersized glutes. He might be a little bit undersized in the hamstrings here too, but the hamstrings are ripped up pretty good. There's no question there. But do I think the glutes are going to be the difference between Krizo winning and losing? Absolutely not. But he will have to fix that imbalance if it does indeed exist before the Olympia. And on the off chance he doesn't win here in Spain, he'll have to stay shredded enough to take home another victory this year. So you guys, I actually translated one of Krizo's questions he was posed on his Instagram story. I don't speak Slovak, but a couple of words did kind of catch my eye here. So one of the questions said, if by chance the qualification for the O doesn't work out, do you still have some races planned for after Alicante? And Krizo replied here, yes, there's still Portugal if it doesn't work out. But he goes on to say, I'll definitely go to EVLS in the fall and to get the qualification for next year. It's just a plan in my head, if anything. So you guys, the show in Portugal that he's talking about is the Big Man Weekend on July 9th, which is only 3 weeks from now. Not that I think Krizo's going to need it. I do think he's going to win this show. But the really interesting thing here is the fact that we may see Krizo compete again shortly after the Olympia in November. The EVLS Prague Pro is scheduled for November 18th. And of course, this is hosted by a major sponsor for Krizo. He won the show in 2022, and a win at the Prague Pro only 2 weeks after the Olympia would actually qualify him for the 2024 Olympia. So you know what? I really like this strategy, you guys. Krizo would be able to pull a Brett Wilkin, qualify early, and really have the whole year to improve. So there's a lot riding on the show for Krizo and how it could affect the rest of his plans for the 2023 season. But like I said, my money would be on Krizo to take home the win right now. This guy is absolutely a freak of nature, and he's looking to be at his best. Now, although Krizo will most likely win, the question is, who could be a potential threat to Michael Krizo? You have guys like Wellington Nescau that are looking absolutely peeled. He took home second place to Beirut Tabani at the Arnold Classic Brazil earlier this year. Andrea Presti, of course. He says he's weighing in at about 262 pounds right now, and he also said in a quick interview with AJ Kelly Robert that he's never been this heavy with this level of conditioning. Joan Pradells stood toe-to-toe with Krizo and looked like he was really holding his own in the leg department. Now, I do think he had Krizo slightly out-angled, and these are great bodybuilders, you guys, but the competitors I really have my eye on here, there's two guys in particular, and the first one I want to talk about is Emir Omeragic. Now, Emir took 3rd place at the Empro Classic Brazil. I think he's the youngest competitor in this lineup at only 24 years old. He also mentioned that he's weighing in at 275 pounds right now for this show. And we don't see many updates from Emir on social media, so I think he's easily overlooked by the fans because of that. But I did find this one update of Emir. I think this is a day out. And you guys, all I can say is watch out for Emir tomorrow. If this look translates over to the stage, he's going to bring a really shredded package to this show. His back is looking very complete when he turns around and he looks like he's almost in a back relaxed position. Although I do think when he starts hitting the back poses that he could be doing better in terms of posing execution here. He has the muscle and separation, but he may need to work on his posing a bit. But from the front, he looks ridiculous in the front double bicep. He's got a lot of hard, grainy muscle from the front especially, which you don't often see from a 24-year-old. Now, can Emir win the Empro Classic? I mean, I think the answer to that is no, but could he slip into that top 4 or top 5? I think he absolutely could. Now, the other guy that I have my eye on, and I think most of the bodybuilding world does right now, is Petar Klancir. And when I saw these update pictures of Petar, I'm not saying I immediately thought that he could beat Krizo, but these pictures were enough to warrant taking a closer look for sure. And you know, especially after a long absence from competing, it's been 7 years since we saw Petar Klancir compete, I do believe. And when most guys make a comeback to the stage after a long absence, they really don't show up looking their best ever, let's be honest here. But I don't think that's the case here with Petar Klancir, you guys. Petar looks like he's going to be shredded to the bone. He looks absolutely freaky and massive. The striations in the shoulders and chest are just on a whole other level here. The roundness and the fullness we're seeing here, this is easily, without a doubt, the best Petar Klancir we've ever seen. He's also got great detail from the back, but you know, the aesthetics for a mass monster like this, I mean, I honestly think Petar will push Krizo more so than Andrea Presti is going to push him here. And that's really saying something since Presti was a 2022 Olympian. Now, Petar does not have the most aesthetic midsection. That's definitely the one knock on him that we can see. But you know what? Krizo has pretty much the same knock on his physique. I think Petar's midsection is probably wider than Krizo's, but that's definitely going to make for an interesting comparison. So where could Petar Klancir find himself surpassing Krizo in this lineup? Well, if Krizo ends up making a mistake and spills over before the show, and you know, Petar shows up looking like this, I mean, I don't know you guys, that's not likely to happen, but Petar could make up some ground if it did. Do I think it's going to happen? Like I said, probably not. But there's no doubt here, Krizo better be at his 100% absolute best, because this is not a show that he's going to walk away with. So look, I'm going to wrap things up here with my top 5 predictions in this show for you guys, and this is how I see it going down. In 5th place, I'm going to have Emir Omeragic from what I'm seeing here. In 4th place, I have Wellington Nescau. Now, Wellington actually beat Emir at the Empro Classic Brazil, so there's a switch. In 3rd place, now, I don't know how people are going to feel about this, but in 3rd place, I'm going to have Andrea Presti. Although Andrea Presti is looking absolutely ridiculous right now, I just think that for his height, he still has some more filling out to do. When you look at the triceps especially, I think he really needs more triceps to really round out his physique, you guys. Especially when you look at a guy like Petar Klancir. So I do have Petar Klancir in 2nd place. He looks very complete, he looks shredded, he looks like he's round and full as a house. Just incredible, you guys. I'm really, really impressed with what I'm seeing from Petar Klancir. And with that being said, of course, in 1st place, I have Michael Krizo. And you guys, this is really going to be another exciting show in the 2023 bodybuilding season. They've all been really great shows up to this point, actually. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. That's a little bit of a preview of the Empro Classic and some of the competitors that I really have my eye on. Get excited for the show. This is going to be an awesome lineup. I'll have all the updates for you guys right here. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.